So I texted 3 teams that are very needy at wide receiver and are factoring into the playoffs. And I said, would you pick them up on waivers? And they were just, it was like an emphatic no way in hell. No one, I highly doubt there is any chance whatsoever any team, no matter what, would touch this at this point.
And it's kind of sad that it took this for, I mean, none of the other stuff. He still got second chances from Patriots, Buccaneers. But this is what really ruins Antonio Brown's career. No, how could you, a guy quit in the middle of a football game, and on top of everything else, how could you trust him? Like, if you're a team going to the playoffs, you don't know which Antonio Brown's showing up. You don't know if you can trust him during the week, during Sunday even now. He's if he gets another chance, I just give up. Like, it would be just weird. It would be the most bizarre thing in the world for another NFL team to take a chance on this guy. And, funny thing is, Buccaneers on the field, the Buccaneers going forward, they're still NFC South champs. They're going to be in the playoffs.
Good team. They're a good team.
But they needed Antonio Brown. They really did. After the Chris Godwin injury, they're really a little thin. All of a sudden, he's throwing to Tyler Johnson, Cyril Grayson. By the way, Tom Brady, we haven't even mentioned this. Tom Brady had one of the really remarkable drives of the season.
Unbelievable.
That throw he made with 20 seconds left, I think it was, to Grayson for the game-winning touchdown. Just one of the great passes of Tom Brady's career, and he's had hundreds of them. I mean, but it didn't even matter. And that's kind of the Buccaneers going forward. This whole thing hovers over them.
Yeah.
And I don't know that they got, it's hard for me to say they got the firepower now to repeat. They're going to get some guys back for it. And that might be back. A couple of these defensive players they've been missing will be back, but they're up against it now. They're a pretty thin offense. I mean, it's Mike Evans and I guess whoever else you patch together, and Gronk too. Obviously.
Hey, I mean, I guess this is more. If Brady's the GOAT, right? And every time you think you can't write another GOAT chapter. Well, here you go. This is back to, I don't want to say quite what he was working with New England, but I mean, it's diminished quite a bit. When you talk about the skill position pieces. And by the way, that drive, if you haven't seen, I mean, drove.
It's so overshadowed, but it was so great.
No, it was like a 45 second. It was like 45 seconds of game time where you're like, they might not win this. And then 45 seconds later, you're like, oh, they're going to win this.
Because of Tom Brady. Because Tom Brady is that great at age 44, yes.
Yeah. So I do want to get to, oh, wow. Okay. So I just got another, I'm going to say it because we're on the podcast, but I just got a text back from a 4th team that I said, no way I said this, the guy's team would claim Antonio Brown, right? Literally 2 words. No. And this is actually, this 4th team is a team that other teams were pointing at going, they're probably the ones, if anybody would do it,